Alright, so we are back with the Tangled tier list, part 3, aka the season 2 songs. So let's hop into it with our very first song. Like and subscribe. Alright, so the first song of Tangled the series, season 2, is Next Stop Anywhere, which is an amazing introduction to the next chapter, aka season 2, the road trip saga, as I'm going to call it. And we didn't have to wait 13 episodes to hear the first song. Season 1, take notes. Alright, but jokes aside, the visuals in this are honestly gorgeous. Like, did you see those butterflies? Mwah! Great start to season 2. Also, the lyrics, as catchy as they are also painting the picture for the new season, which is done so well with Rapunzel's longing to be out in the real world and being free for the first time, combined with Eugene wanting to propose and maybe settle down a little bit, and then also combined with Cassandra's little inkling of worry, because, Rapunzel can get into a little bit of trouble sometimes. It is a really good song, and I really like how this is our introduction into season 2. Now, little recap from the last part to this. I did add a Q tier. This is not going up there. But that's just to say, I'm not going to put this in Q tier. I'm not going to put it in S tier, and I'm not going to put it in A tier. Why? It's not one of the greats. It's not one of my top 10. That's just me personally. However, it is still a good one. I still have it on my Spotify playlist. However, would I put this up there with some of the other songs I have in B tier? I mean, no, not really, because the songs I have in B tier are ones that aren't my top 10, but I still listen to often enough. This song, I don't listen to it that often, and that's probably not because there's anything wrong with it, more so just the fact that it's like an introduction song, and it's not our classic one that we hear over and over again, if that makes sense. So this is going to be slightly critical. I'm going to put this in C tier. It definitely deserves to be on the highest part of C tier, like above any of the other songs on C tier. But I don't feel like I can entirely put this on B tier because it's not one that I listen to often, and I'm trying to be honest here. But I still kind of feel bad that I'm putting this in C tier. I just want to clarify. Alright, so this is getting a little crowded, so I'm just going to cut these down from rectangles to squares. And, yep, that's done, so moving on. So the next song is If I Could Take That Moment Back. And honestly, it's such a sweet sentiment, and I really do like it. And I'm surprised that we haven't had a Eugene and Rapunzel duet since the movie. Like, I mean, if you wanted to count Ready As I'll Ever Be, because they both sing in it, but it's not centered around that. It's a battle song. It's not like a love song between them. So this is definitely good for some development here in their relationship, especially considering the circumstances. If you haven't seen Tangled in the series, I'll sum it up that Eugene got kidnapped by his ex and is being forced to marry her right now. And so previously, he had asked Rapunzel to marry him, and she didn't say anything, and so now she's looking back and regretting it, and that is honestly such a nice trope to have. I love that they did this. It's a good first episode to have to the series, and second episode, because this is a two-parter, and I'm once again glad we didn't have to wait absolutely forever to get a new song. That's amazing. I love that. And guess what? This is a song I listen to often. Is it top 10? No. Is it even top 15? Probably not. Top 20 maybe. But this is a song I listen to a lot on Spotify when I'm like running around in the gym. Don't ask questions. Anyways, and so I'm going to put this in B tier. There you go. There is your B tier song. It is so sweet and adorable, and I love their relationship. It has way better development than most princess stories do. So, yes, I love this, it's cute, and it's B tier. So next song is a reprise, but it's not the one you expected me to put. Alright, give me a second to explain here. So, of the previous song that I just ranked, If I Could Take That Moment Back, was a fan-made reprise to it in Varian's perspective when he's breaking out of jail. And I actually heard this reprise before I reached season 2 and heard the original song. And so I have, like, a special attachment to this, alright? I'm not adding any other fan songs to this tier list aside from Varian and the Seven Kingdoms, but that's gonna be in, like, part 5, so that's, like, 2 weeks away, okay? But yeah, my video, my rules, so I get to add it. You can't do anything about it, but I'm not gonna ramble on about this song because most people probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna leave this in A tier because it's a Varian song, it's creative, I like it more than the original because of that special bias attachment, and if it was sung by Jeremy Jordan, I would put this in the S tier, obviously. However, it is not, it is sung by a fan, so A tier. I'm not gonna elaborate it, but I will suggest that you go and you listen to it. So, moving on. So, the actual next song, which is ironically a reprise of Next Stop Anywhere. Now, this is kind of a shorter song, and if you've seen the first 2 parts of this video series, then you know where this is going. Not the biggest fan of the short songs, because they're short, and I don't really have that much time to enjoy them, so this is going to be neutral on C tier, because it's kind of just a repeat of the chorus, and, you know, Adira is in it, but she's not singing. Actually, why didn't we get an Adira song season 2? Hold on. I feel kind of ripped off now. Why didn't we get an Adira song? Like, hello? I'm pretty sure Kelly Hugh can sing, right? Okay, so I looked it up, and I guess she has a phobia of singing publicly, but, like, she's not really in front of the audience. Like, we couldn't have gotten, like, you know, at least a line out of her. Like, please. I want an Adira song. Second favorite character. Come on. Okay. Varian and the Seven Kingdoms comes out, we're gonna need a Varian and an Adira duet. Something similar to, like, We'll Be Fine from Epic the Musical. Adira being Athena and Varian being Telemachus. Okay, moving on from that sidetrack. Alright, so next song is The View From Up Here. For context, Cassandra and Rapunzel have turned into birds, and they're singing. Yay. So this song portrays how Rapunzel has been feeling about her freedom, first by being in a tower, and then being in a castle, and now she's out in the real world for the first time, and so she's free as a bird. And, you know, this isn't the first time we've seen bird imagery in a song either, because they represent freedom. If you're American, then you very well know this, because our national animal is a bird, and our country is supposedly all about freedom and patriots and yada yada blah blah blah. So while Rapunzel is having the time of her life soaring through the sky and finally feeling free for the first time ever, Cassandra, on the other hand, is absolutely terrified, as any reasonable person would be in this situation. Like, what do? You were just turned into a bird. You'd be like, yeah, hey, I'd like to go back now so we can go back to being human. I don't want to be this way forever. Hey, thanks. But it also kind of foreshadows the abandonment issues, which, you know, leads into her literally being abandoned by her own mother, as we find out later. And dude, how can you not love a song with some good old foreshadowing? I do listen to this quite often, so this obviously is going straight to B tier. It's fun, it's upbeat, cool visuals, I love it, I like this is sweet. And it's also kind of, by the end of it, Cassandra does warm up to this feeling of freedom. And I really like that, you know, for once, we get to see her happy for even just a little bit. So, good old B tier. It's not top 10. Probably top 12, though. I don't know if it's 11 or 12, but it's top 12, alright? Alright, and let's get this next one over with. Hookfoot's Ballad. There is literally no chorus to this. It's like 2 stanzas, and then it ends with a giant screech. D tier. And we finally reached the song where Lance and Eugene got high. Honestly, I find this song so funny. It is literally just them on drugs singing about how they're best friends. And you can tell, A, the amount of effort the team put into this. Bravo, guys. And B, the amount of fun they had with these visuals. This is amazing. I love this. It's so creative. And it's so funny. I feel like I could watch these two run around high for like 10 hours straight and still be entertained. This is peak cinema right here. And you know what? It makes up for the creepypasta song that we get next. The Decay incantation, aka the Hurt incantation, as the fandom has named it, even though that's not its actual name. Anyways, though, here's absolutely terrifying Rapunzel. I'm sorry, but this is the creepiest shit from the entire show. What? She looks like she's about to crawl out of my TV and say, hey, you have a week left. Good luck. Wasn't the targeted age demographic supposed to be children? Because if they didn't cover their eyes, they're wetting their sheets tonight. This is absolute nightmare fuel for them. Maybe this show is for adults. Okay, but on a serious note, I love randomly dropped creepiness and darkness and lore and stuff. It's so cool. Aside from the fact that all the children in the audience just poop their pants, I really do enjoy this. It looks straight out of Bendy or like one of the Twisteds from Dandy's World on Roblox. It is short, so I feel inclined to put it in C tier. However, I'm willing to overlook that and make an exception because of its creepiness, and also because I do enjoy the lyrics more than the healing incantation. So I'm going to bump this up a tier. I'm going to put it in B, not A, S, or Q, because it's, again, short. But I do like this, I do enjoy it, and I really like when shows suddenly get creepy out of nowhere. So, B tier. And the next song is Waiting in the Wings, a song that won an Emmy Award. No song that won an Emmy Award should be any lower than the top tier, aka the Q tier that I made myself. This is also my go-to karaoke song, but this song has an Emmy, so you can't argue me on where I put this. With all that said, this song is actually kind of depressing, and also I kind of relate to it. So let's get into that and not unpack my own emotional baggage, but Cass's. So this song is when we finally get a true look into Cassandra's mind, because up until this point, all we've seen is a confident, strong lesbian, a confident, strong character who is well put together and is able to keep the group on track. But in this song, we finally get to hear those insecurities come out. She feels left to the side because it's never her moment to shine, which, is very valid considering in most media, the best friend is kind of just left there like a little side character who has fun and some comic relief and all that, but never really get their time to shine on like their golden podium like the main character does. They're kind of just there to fill the role of best friend. And so we get to see into that and how she actually feels about it, how she doesn't get to shine, how she keeps on waiting for her time to come. It reminds me of the song The Fat Funny Friend, which I highly recommend listening to. But she is just waiting for her time in the spotlight, and it's never coming. And no matter what she does, she's just pushed to the sidelines. And I really feel for her in this moment. So, for its Emmy Award, for my emotional connection, for it being my go-to karaoke song, and also for the visuals, and of course, Eden Espinosa, we love you, girl. This has to be Q tier. So, season 2 has it going really good for the song so far, with the exception of Hookfoot's ballad. So, I wonder what's next.
I got what I deserve, and so did you.
Oh, this one. Well, let's start off with the positives. Lyrically, this is genius, okay? I really do like the concept for a villain song being, oh, my life is better than yours. That's pretty funny. However, it ruined a movie character. One of our original characters from the movie got ruined by not just a song, but honestly this entire episode of him just being like a toxic brother. And that kind of takes away from this for me. Like, I want to put this in B tier for its lyrics, but purely on the fact that it ruined a character and it's kind of just snobby, I'm gonna keep it neutral and put it in C tier, because it's kind of like really negative plus really positive, just mix, and I can't really put this higher or lower, it just needs to be in the middle. So now we have reached the season 2 finale, and the first song from the season 2 finale is With You by My Side, a triple duet between Eugene, Rapunzel, and Cassandra, who up to this point are the main 3 characters. This does change in season 3, but for right now, this is still the dynamic that we're working with. And this song has some good old foreshadowing from Eugene and Cassandra. Gotta love that foreshadowing. Bonus points for that immediately. Now the visuals for this one are really good as well. Would I say they're the best visuals in the show? No. Would I put this up there with Ready As I'll Ever Be? No, but it's still a good song to have for a finale. So this song showcases the worries of our main 3 characters at the moment about how life is going to change after they reach the Dark Kingdom, which, as we'll see in the episode, changes quite a bit for all 3 of them. Rapunzel seeking her destiny to try and get the Moonstone, but then Cassandra taking it instead, and Eugene finding out that he's a prince. Like, nothing is gonna ever be the same after this. And so I do really like how this song highlights that before we actually get to see how it happens and shakes down. And the fact that we're already kind of suspecting Cassandra to betray Rapunzel, and then we see Eugene end up betraying Rapunzel, it's overall a really good episode, and this song in the beginning kind of sets that up. And, you know, for all of that setup and build up, and of course the extra bonus points for the foreshadowing, I'm going to put this in A tier. So now I would say this is probably top 11 in A tier, as well as, you know, movie songs. So the final song of season 2 is titled Everything I Ever Thought I Knew, which is a solo by Eugene. Now, is this the kind of song I expected to be the last song of the season? No, definitely not, considering all the other build-ups we've had up to this point, and it's definitely no Ready as I'll Ever Be. And, you know, no offense to Eugene, had this solo come from a character that I like more, like Cassandra, or if Varian somehow came back, then that would probably make this a little higher than where I'm going to place it. However, it does make sense storyline-wise. Eugene just found out that he is the Lost Prince, which I really like this concept because Rapunzel was the Lost Princess, and this also means it was a prince who climbed her tower, like in the original tale Brothers Grimm. So I do like the concept that he is a prince. And I do like that we're getting to see how he feels about it, because, you know, in most shows and stuff, you'd be like, oh, yay, you're turned out to be royalty, woohoo. In this, it kind of seems like a downfall to him, and we get to see a different perspective, which is that everything he's ever worked for was preordained for him, because he was royalty. It was just meant to happen. It was just meant to fall in his lap, which is a perspective that we never really dig into in any other case, and so I really enjoy that we did this. And I love the visuals for this. It's actually better than the visuals for the previous song. I enjoyed this. I do question the lyrics from time to time, but they still make sense. And guess what? There's a little snippet of Varian in there. Does it make sense the moment that they put in there? No, not really, because it's a moment with Cassandra and Varian, and Eugene was not present for it. I have multiple suggestions of what photos they could have put there between Eugene and Varian that had happened in season 1, but you know what, that's fine. Varian is still there whether or not he's singing. He still shows up, so, you know. So, you know, I'm gonna say this is my top 10. I'm gonna put this in A tier with the previous song. Alright, my legion of fish raccoons, we are currently reaching 18 minutes on this, so that's honestly insane considering the last 2 parts were like 11, 12 minutes. So we're gonna end this here. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you next week for part 4.